Hi everyone, how you doing? The video I'm making today is something that's quite important after you've had the heart attack, and that is cardiac rehab. Now, after you've got out of the hospital and you're all, it's great to be home again, and you remember what it was like lying in bed that first night after you've had the heart attack, and if God spares me, I'm going to look after myself and I'm going to get fit, and you're full of all the good intentions. Which I was, and 4 weeks after the heart attack I was back driving again, and I think I got the letter then to say you're invited up for cardiac rehab. So I thought, happy days. I think it was 6 weeks we did of cardiac rehab, but the good thing is you arrive up at the cardiac rehab, and thankfully you're not the only person there. There's actually about 10 to 12 people there, all of who have had heart attacks, either stents or bypass or whatever, But I think each individual person is gauged to what exercise they can do. Now, I know my heart attack, it was serious enough, but I only got one stent, which I was lucky because the guy I was in hospital with, he ended up having 4 stents. And whenever I was in the hospital, he went on to tell me that he had bowel cancer 3 years before that. And after he told me all his stories, I felt less depressed, to be honest. But anyway, back to the cardio rehab. And you arrive there, and as soon as you go in, you see all the gymnasium stuff. There's a couple of mini trampolines. There's a couple of exercise bikes. There's a couple of rowing machines. And not only that, but she warms you up first of all by doing a few exercises, up and down, the legs up and the legs, and for an old fella, well, I wasn't old then, so it was 13 years ago. I'm 66 now, so I was actually 53. Was it 53 when I had the heart attack, or was it 52? No, I was 53 that year, so I was actually 52. Yeah, I was 52 when I had the heart attack. I was a young pup, so I was actually there with a lot of old people, so they actually made me look good, which is it's a plus in my life to look good, because it doesn't happen often. But the cardio rehab was great. I loved it, and I tell you, the exercise bike, I found it boring, so I did. I liked the mini trampoline, only you have to be careful on a mini trampoline. You have to be careful on a big trampoline because you can sort of go off the end of it quite easily, but you got a bit of common sense about you. You're not going to do that. You don't just bounce up and down on it, by the way. You're given set exercises, sort of like legs in, out, up, down, and sort of treading as you're treading in water and so on, And I actually bought a book on the mini trampoline, and it's amazing the benefits of it. And I didn't know that astronauts actually use mini trampolines before they're into space. Something to do with the inertia, but I'm not getting into it. By the way, before I'm saying I'm not getting into it, just a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I always say I don't look like a doctor, but, I've been up to my surgery, and actually I could pass for a doctor, to be honest, but I don't have any medical qualifications at all. But I do have a lot of experience in, the heart and so on, because of my 13 years. I've sort of been up and down to the hospital a few times, because one thing you'll find after you've had a heart attack, they won't come looking you to do things for you. You will have to phone them up and ask for what you want. It's like one time I took a really severe headache, and I know I'm getting away from the subject, but sure, what else are you doing? Make yourself a cup of tea, but anyway, I had a very severe headache, and I went up to the hospital, and it was severe blood pressure, so they kept me in for a couple of hours to bring the blood pressure down. But I spotted that myself by my wee blood monitor that you put in your arm, and it goes, you feel like somebody's gripping your arm, and then it comes up with the figures. It's supposed to be around about 120 over 80, but that day mine was 200 over 100. So I knew right away there was something wrong with my body, and I thought I was having a heart attack. Now, that's one thing you'll learn if you have heart disease and you really delve into it, and you sort of want to look after yourself. You will realise your body will be telling you that something's wrong here. Phone the doctor. If you're not happy with the doctor, go to the hospital. That's what I should have done when I had the heart attack, because a month or so beforehand I was having terrible jaw pain. I've said before in all other videos, I went to the dentist, got x-rays, no abscess, went to the doctor, where's neuralgia? And then I found out sort of a year or so later that jaw pain is one of the main symptoms of a heart attack. A friend of mine I met years later, had a stent, told me all about it. He had been to the doctor. Doctor says, well, have you had any symptoms of, what's wrong? Oh, yeah, I've been having terrible jaw pain. His doctor sent him immediately up to the hospital, and he was put on a treadmill. And I must actually do a video on a treadmill. I've been through that experience. Great. So it is. If you're going for a treadmill and you're worried about it, don't be. Worst case scenario is they'll spot a heart problem coming on. But that is actually a best case scenario, because they've actually spotted there's something wrong with you and they will treat you and you will be fine. So anyway, back to the rehab. The mini trampoline, yeah, dead on. The rowing machine, the rowing machine's great, so it is. Get a mini rowing machine for the house. I'm sitting looking at you now. I could be on the rowing machine actually doing this video, but I don't want you all seeing how unfit I am. As you see, but there's a bit of the belly there coming into. I don't mean to show that when I'm on the screen. But over the lockdown, I put on about 1.5 stone, and definitely obesity is another thing that leads to heart attack. So I have to drop off that 1.5 stone, because obviously if you've got an extra 1.5 stone or 2 stone on you, you have that many blood vessels in your body, and your heart, it's unbelievable the number of vessels that are pumping blood and all that stuff that's getting in there. So if you've got another extra 2 stone to pump all that around, can you imagine the extra work that your heart is going to have to do? So that extra work, it's like your car. You take your car out and do 20,000 miles a day. Not that you would do that. I wonder, does anybody do 20,000 miles a day? But anyway, you put the extra work on your heart. It's not gonna last as long. So you're obviously gonna die younger. I mean, that's a bit obvious. But anyway, you do all the running up and down. You do the exercises. I think there was other machines up there too, but I can't remember them. I mainly remember the ones I liked. But the thing I liked most was afterwards, you had a wee cup of tea and you were given wee brochures on different exercises and stuff and the progress you were making. And as I say, it went on for about 6 or 8 weeks, and meeting other people was great. You see, even on YouTube and on Facebook groups, you sort of would post something like posting this video, and people would leave comments about their experiences, and I find that fascinating. I absolutely love it. So I do. It's who I am. I like people. I like to hear their experiences, especially if they're sharing an experience that helps and benefits me. And there's a lot of that on the likes of those Facebook groups. So if you're in a Facebook group, say thanks to the people that are running it, because it's great having advice and hearing what's happening to other people. So whenever I was up at the cardio rehab, I met other people, and they were able to tell me there was a bakery guy, and he was having chest pains. Funny, I never had a chest pain. I've never had a chest pain, and I wish I hadn't said that, because I'm going to have to touch wood now, wooden floor, because I don't want to scud myself. But he'd been having chest pains, and he had been having a bit of, sweating and clammy and so on for about a couple of weeks, and he didn't even go to the doctor. Now, I don't know about you, but if I get a chest pain or something like that, I don't know whether I'm a big girl's blouse or something like that, but I'm away to the doctors right away. My view in life is better safe than sorry, and it is a true saying, you're a long time dead. And one of my favourite sayings is, life is not a rehearsal. It's not a rehearsal. You don't get a second chance. So if you're watching videos like this, and trust me, there's much better videos than mine out there that I have watched, and you've got qualified doctors telling you stuff, but you can learn so much on Facebook groups, and you can learn so much from other people, mainly other people that have had heart attacks. I had one woman have a go at me on a Facebook group. Oh, you're just coming on YouTube there, you're talking a lot of rubbish. What do you know? You're not a doctor, you're not qualified. I am qualified. I'm qualified to tell you what a heart attack's like. I've had one. I am qualified to tell you what, cardio rehabilitation's like. I've been there, I'm qualified to tell you that if you've got a headache, a really severe headache, the first thing you check is your blood pressure, because that's where blood pressure hits you right away in the head, really severe, you know. And anyway, back to the hospital, and such nice people. I don't know what it is, but people with heart attacks and heart disease, they're the nicest people you could meet. Well, except for that woman that abused me on the Facebook group, you know. But no, so the exercise went on for about an hour and a half, and then you sort of chatted to the people for about 45 minutes, and it was great. You know, there was a dozen of us there. You were just standing about and, you know, having a cup of tea and meeting these strangers who actually became your friends over the sort of period of time. And you learned all about, you know, I had 4 stents, and oh, I was such and such, and I was at my mother's house, and I sort of felt really nauseous, and then they called the ambulance, and I was out walking, and I took this terrible pain in my chest, and it just got worse and worse, you know, and then I felt my arms sort of getting heavy, you know, and you'll pick all that up, because, you know, I always worry about having a second heart attack, but when I do, I mean, I was a first aider when I had the first heart attack, so I knew the signs, so I want to be ready if it comes again, you know, if something doesn't feel right. You know, heartburn was another thing that I had a month or so before the heart attack. I mean, everybody gets heartburn. You know, if I eat tuna, I would get heartburn. I'm sure other people have reactions to different foods, but for me, it's tuna. And I find actually drinking a glass of milk actually helps with my heartburn, or peppermint. But that heartburn just did not go away. It just continued and continued. And with the heartburn and the jaw pain, knowing what I know now, there's no way I would have just went up to the doctors and took neuralgia and accepted it. I would have gone up to the hospital, because they would have probably put you on a treadmill. There's not much to making an appointment for a treadmill. I made an appointment and got the treadmill a couple of years after the heart attack, and everything was fine. I'll go into detail about the treadmill in a further video. But anyway, thanks very much for watching, you good folks. I really appreciate all your views, and I'd appreciate any comments, because as I say, the comments are what makes it. You see people's YouTube channels, the thing that really makes them is the comments. It's not the person like me that's blabbering on and on and on. It's when you get down below there and you read everybody's experiences and comments. It's just fantastic. You know, the internet in certain ways like this here, and the likes of Facebook groups and stuff like that there, it's amazing whenever, you know, you're feeling that, you know, am I having a heart attack? I've just had a heart attack. I've just had a stent. You have so many things, and you want to know, what can I do? What happened to you? What happened to someone else? This is the place, the platform for people's experiences. So if you're watching this now and you have a YouTube channel, please subscribe to my channel, and do leave a comment down below, because trust me, everybody that leaves a comment on anything that I'm saying, I really appreciate it, more than you would think, and I love to hear other people's experiences. So thanks very much for watching, and if you're going through cardio rehab, I hope you're getting better, because 13 years later, this old boy's still here, and I'm still plugging away. I'm taking up cycling after Easter, once the lockdown's over. Fingers crossed that it is over, and I'm gonna lose 1.5 stone. So watch this space, take care, and enjoy your night, folks.